There's a much different attitude and confidence in the Bulls locker room these days, and most of it is protruding from the no. 8 stall in the middle of the space. LaVine stood confidently and spoke positively after yet another dazzling performance, this time racking up 39 points and the game-winning layup with 1.6 seconds left in a 1-point victory over the Philadelphia 76ers on Wednesday night. It was the latest takeover performance for LaVine, who scored 26 of those after halftime, 13 apiece in each quarter, and 13 of the last 18 points for the Bulls as they battled back from down 10 midway through the final stanza. There were 4 ties in the final 3 minutes, and every time LaVine had an answer, matching Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler point for point while finishing off an East contender, something they couldn't do the previous night. The Bulls have now won 6 of their last 9 and 7 of their last 12 games, and they haven't been cupcakes. True, they've beaten up on Memphis twice and Atlanta, but that stretch has also included wins over East playoff teams in Brooklyn, Orlando, Boston and Philadelphia. What was once a small sample size is becoming a trend for the Bulls, and LaVine knows it's just the start for where this team can go. "We can beat any of these teams. We've played with them," he said. "It's just now being able to show it, and we're in a good little rhythm right now." That rhythm has begun and ended with LaVine. Lauri Markkanen rightfully earned praise for a February in which he averaged 26 points and 12 rebounds and was a finalist for Eastern Conference Player of the Month, ultimately losing out to MVP frontrunner Giannis Antetokounmpo. But in that same month LaVine averaged 24.5 points on a blistering 53.2% shooting and 49% from beyond the arc. He also averaged 5.8 assists at a time when the Bulls were struggling to get much ball movement from the point guard position. Oh, and his encore after a fabulous February was setting a career high with 49 points in that quadruple overtime victory over the Hawks. Prior to the All-Star break, LaVine's career high was 39 points. He's now reached that figure 3 times in his last 7 games. As LaVine's confidence grows, so, too, does his aggressiveness. Much of his hot February was jump shooting, as he went to free throw line just 4.7 times per game. But that number is back on the rise. He went to the free throw line 13 times on Wednesday, giving him 38 attempts in 4 March games, 9.5 per game. That downhill movement, combined with his rhythmic pick-and-roll action with Robin Lopez, is bringing him to new heights. He was in a great frame of mind, he was getting downhill, he was competitive, Jim Boylan said. "I want him to be a 8-9 free throw shooter. I want him to be up there with Kobe and Harden and those guys. That's what he can do. That helps us win the free throw game, which is part of winning the game. I'm really happy for him. When he gets downhill we are dangerous." That LaVine and the Bulls were able to show this resiliency and fight in front of a national television audience only adds to the importance of it. LaVine, Boylan and others have mentioned myriad times the importance of learning how to win. The Bulls seem to be finding that recipe, and doing so against a team in Philadelphia fighting for playoff positioning has set up a playoff-like situation for the Bulls. For the game, Boylan brought up the fact that the Bulls only had 3 nationally televised games in 2019, one of the lowest numbers in the league. He used that as a motivational tactic, and the Bulls responded with a clutch performance, hanging with a contender, fighting back from down 10 and closing out a game in a way they couldn't do the previous night. It's night like Wednesday that LaVine believes will lead to plenty more competitive efforts against the league's best teams, more wins and, down the line, more nights in front of a national audience. "We're gonna switch that around," LaVine said of the 3 national TV appearances. "When you're rebuilding you've got to take your bumps and you've got to build your way up, but we're a very young, exciting team and we've got some of the best players in the NBA on this team, I feel like. We're going to change that around real fast.